Section 49 of English Synonyms and Antonyms. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by James O'Connor. English Synonyms and Antonyms by James Champlain Fernald. Polite to Predestination. Polite. Synonyms: accomplished, civil, complacent, courteous, courtly, cultivated, cultured, elegant, genteel, gracious, obliging, polished, urbane, well-behaved, well-bred, well-mannered. A civil person observes such propriety of speech and manner as to avoid being rude. One who is polite, literally polished, observes more than the necessary proprieties, conforming to all that is graceful, becoming, and thoughtful in the intercourse of refined society. A man may be civil with no consideration for others, simply because self-respect forbids him to be rude. But one who is polite has at least some care for the opinions of others, and if polite in the highest and truest sense, which is coming to be the prevailing one, he cares for the comfort and happiness of others in the smallest matters. Civil is a colder and more distant word than polite. Courteous is fuller and richer, dealing often with greater matters, and is used only in the good sense. Courtly suggests that which befits a royal court, and is used of external grace and stateliness without reference to the prompting feeling, as the courtly manners of the ambassador. Genteel refers to an external elegance which may be showy and superficial, and the word is thus inferior to polite or courteous. Urbane refers to a politeness that is genial and successful in giving others a sense of ease and cheer. Polished refers to external elegancies of speech and manner without reference to spirit or purpose, as a polished gentleman or a polished scoundrel. Cultured refers to a real and high development of mind and soul, of which the external manifestation is the smallest part. Complacent denotes a disposition to please or favor beyond what politeness would necessarily require. Antonyms: awkward, bluff, blunt, boorish, brusque, clownish, coarse, discourteous, ill-behaved, ill-bred, ill-mannered, impertinent, impolite, impudent, insolent, insulting, raw, rude, rustic, uncivil, uncouth, unmannerly, unpolished, untaught, untutored. Polity. Synonyms: constitution, policy, form or system of government. Polity is the permanent system of government of a state, a church, or a society. Policy is the method of management with reference to the attainment of certain ends. The national polity of the United States is republican. Each administration has a policy of its own. Policy is often used as equivalent to expediency, as many think honesty to be good policy. Polity used in ecclesiastical use serves a valuable purpose in distinguishing that which relates to administration and government from that which relates to faith and doctrine. Two churches identical in faith may differ in polity, or those agreeing in polity may differ in faith. Compare law. Portion. Synonyms: lot, parcel, part, proportion, share. When any whole is divided into parts, any part that is allotted to some person, thing, subject, or purpose is called a portion, though the division may be by no fixed rule or relation. A father may divide his estate by will among his children, so as to make their several portions, great or small, according to his arbitrary and unreasonable caprice. When we speak of a part as a proportion, we think of the whole as divided according to some rule or scale, so that the different parts bear a contemplated and intended relation or ratio to one another. Thus the portion allotted to a child by will may not be a fair proportion of the estate. Proportion is often used where part or portion would be more appropriate. Compare PART. Poverty. Synonyms: beggary, destitution, distress, indigence, mendicancy, need, pauperism, penury, privation, want. Poverty denotes strictly lack of property or adequate means of support, but in common use is a relative term denoting any condition below that of easy, comfortable living. Privation denotes a condition of painful lack of what is useful or desirable, though not to the extent of absolute distress. Indigence is lack of ordinary means of subsistence. Destitution is lack of the comforts and in part even of the necessaries of life. Penury is a specially cramping poverty, possibly not so sharp as destitution, but continuous, while that may be temporary. Pauperism is such destitution as throws one upon organized public charity for support. Beggary and mendicancy denote poverty that appeals for indiscriminate private charity. Power. Synonyms: ability, aptitude, capability, capacity, cleverness, cogency, competency, dexterity, efficacy, efficiency, energy, expertness, faculty, force, might, qualification, readiness, skill, strength, susceptibility, talent. Power is the most general term of this group, including every quality, property, or faculty by which any change, effect, or result is or may be produced, as the power of the legislature to enact laws, or of the executive to enforce them; the power of an acid to corrode a metal; the power of a polished surface to reflect light. Ability is nearly coextensive with power, but does not reach the positiveness and vigor that may be included in the meaning of power. Ability, often implying latent, as distinguished from active power. We speak of an exertion of power, but not of an exertion of ability. Power and ability include capacity, which is power to receive, but ability is often distinguished from capacity as power that may be manifested in doing, as capacity is in receiving. One may have great capacity for acquiring knowledge, and yet not possess ability to teach. Efficiency is active power to effect a definite result, the power that actually does, as distinguished from that which may do. Competency is equal to the occasion, readiness prompt for the occasion. Faculty is an inherent quality of mind or body; talent, some special mental ability. Dexterity and skill are readiness and facility in action having a special end. Talent is innate; dexterity and skill are largely acquired. Our abilities include our natural capacity, faculties, and talents, with all the dexterity, skill, and readiness that can be acquired. Efficacy is the power to produce an intended effect as shown in the production of it; as, the efficacy of a drug. Efficiency is effectual agency.